Oh. G'day, how you going? Ian Appelis here, your acrylic guru. Welcome to another live tutorial. I'm going to do a beach scene today, and it's going to have little, I did one the other day, different colours. It's going to be like real colours, but I did little add-ons in it, like the little hut and stuff. So I want to do the same with that in this one. And I feel these little add-ons just add that little bit of pizzazz to your painting, and they'll probably the little factors that'll help you sell it in the long run if you're selling your work as well, okay? I'm just sitting down on a stool while I start up here because, yeah, I just want to rest me back a bit. So I'll edit this out properly when I'm finished with the name and that, but I'm just putting the links in the description below right now as we speak. There we go, they are done. And now I'll just, oh, you dag, I'll just bring up the video now so I can see who comes in the chat room here. Okay, so here we go. And I'll also do a quick sound check as well, just to make sure my mic is plugged in correctly. Otherwise it'll be all that for nothing. So let me do a sound check here. Yep, that's fine. We've got a few people here, 14 at the moment. Natarat, g'day Natarat. We've got April and Tony. G'day Anthony. Tony, how you going there, Cobber? Now, this is not the normal time I go on live, but I'm doing it today because I've got the spare time and a few planets are lined up, so I'm taking the opportunity. So I've got a canvas over here. I'll move my stool out the way so I can get all thing happening here. I've got everything worked out there. Now, the horizon line is going to be halfway. I've got the sizes 30 by 42 centimetres, 12 inch by 16 inch. When I bring the camera over, you can even see those sizes on there as well. And we're going to have a real sky colour and some sand, but a different layout, not your average one that everyone paints. I want to do it different, but something you beginners can do. So without any more talking, I'll bring all this over there so you can see. All right. Now let's see how we go there. Right. Oh, I would have helped if I put my paints there first. So I'll just zoom that back a bit while I do this, and I'll put you down on the palette there. So I need some craft white just to get all the sky sorted out. So a lot of people that follow me already know what I'm using, but for those people who don't, this is craft paint, student paint or poster paint. And I like to mix that about, depending on your climate, how much of this retarder you put in there. And that slows down the drying time of your acrylic paints. And it helps that surface, you know, like the oil artists, they have a magic white. Well, this is pretty much my magic white here. It's that craft paint and retarder. Now that retarder I use, it's not a gel and it's not white, it's clear. So I like to get me brush just from the hardware store and mix this up nice and thoroughly with the brush, because this is what's going to push it onto my canvas. Now I'm using also a good quality artist cloth canvas with a good tooth in it. The tooth is a weave, and we'll just get this crisscrossed up in there for the sky and we'll get it going, okay? Get all the way along there. Just get it on there any old way, push it through, kick up a bit more, and then we'll even it out like you're ironing a white t-shirt. All right, so you got it on the ironing board, it's all creased up. All right, then we'll just stroke those brush strokes out nicely, just like that. Now I want to see, I'm going to have to turn that backlight out over there because it's pushing back. It's an LED light and it pushes over a lot of glare. So we'll go like that. Now, I'll get some rag. I've got so many different rags here. I'm just going to wipe this on a rag. Just get the build up off that. Okay. And come back down here. Doesn't matter how much I prepare this lead, I've always got to step on it, eh? Now, for my sky colours, I like using cerulean blue. So we're going to have some cerulean blue. Okay. And I need some white colour for the clouds over here. So I've got tubes at the end of its tether there. And I'll just have to get another one out of here as well. Let me lean over and grab that. How many tubes of white have I got? I use a lot of white. I grabbed 2 more when I went down the shop the other day. So there we go. And I want some yellow ochre. So we're going to have some yellow ochre. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of blending here. So it's going to come into play later on. So we want to get some of this over here, okay? And I'm going to do this now, so get a little bit of yellow ochre, just enough to taint this part of the white. And then this paint I'm mixing it with, the paint brush I'm mixing it with, I'll actually leave sitting there, so when I'm ready to use it, I'll just use that one there. And I will just wet it, because that's going to sit a bit before I use it, but I want it ready now. Yeah, that's all right, a little bit more yellow oxide, yellow ochre, whatever they call it there, that's the one there. And we're mixing that up on my glass palette. I love using a glass palette because it's great for mixing up good paints. Now I'm going to leave that there, all right? Now I want to pick up the cerulean blue, and we want to get the sky colour happening up there, what we've already got. Okay, I'm just looking at the comments here. Does the retarder keep the paint wet longer? Yes, it does. That's what it does. The word retarder means retard, slow down, retard. That's what the actual word retarder means. Okay, hello everyone. Now, we'll get the sky going. So I want to get me blue, come over there a bit where you can see. And I want to get me blue. So I'll start it off at the top. Now I'm going to crisscross it and pushing it right down to the bottom there. Because to me, this is a real life sky colour. It's not a cartoony, unrealistic colour for a sky. I'm going to start from the top now. And like we're ironing that white t-shirt, well, this is a blue one now. And we're going to bring that down to the horizon line. And that's how quick and easy it was just to get a beautiful clear blue sky on our canvas. There's no scratch marks in that, nothing at all. Now just down here, I want some pollution to give it that real look as well. So, oh golly, mind the bumps. What do I want? Quinacridone magenta and a little bit of grey. So I'm going to put this, I'll put it way over here out the way, a bit of quinacridone magenta and a little bit of grey there. Okay, because we want that grey in the sky, but we want it with the little bit of magenta. So let's give that a go and see what happens there. I can't remember if I've mixed magenta with grey or not. But so it's just not straight grey. I don't care if it's got some of that blue on the brush. I should have wiped the brush first. I've got a funny feeling. A little bit more of that. Yeah, that's getting there. Don't want it too dark. That'll do. I've got a lot of white in my brush. There's blue on the board there. That's the colour I want for the polluted horizon line, way over here. Okay, so we'll probably just get it there and gradiate it up there like that. I'm concentrating mainly here because I'm going to have some clouds here coming way over our head. So I'm concentrating this. There we go. And now I'll just do that. When that dries, it's probably not 100% noticeable, but when that dries, my golly, you will see it. Now over here, I'll just go over there and wash this brush now because I'm going to need it later on throughout this tutorial. So I'll quickly wash it now because we're going to have water in this as well. There we go. And always give it a severe flogging. Okay, back over here. Now we're ready for the clouds. So I want a blending brush. I'm going to grab a blending brush. I've got my rag there. And we're going to add some clouds. So this paint that I mixed up before. This is going to be me clouds down the bottom here. So I want to pretty much put that on, okay, right there within the blue. I'm just stabbing it on, pick up some more. Well, I did wet it a bit too much. Don't wet it. Wet water on it's not the best. And just spider finger it up there, and we're going to transform this out over there as well. Okay, just like there. I shouldn't have wet that, but too bad. Hi everyone from Sweden. Wow, a lot of people there. Got 41 people. Now I want to blend that. So I've got a blending brush, and I'm going to dab, turmoil into that blue, I'll get it right down to the horizon line there, and it's going to pick up lighter and brighter values, brighter and duller values of that colour. I'll come all the way over here just like that, and we'll get this all the way up there. Yeah, I really shouldn't have put water on that because I've weakened it, but it'll still work, I'm hoping. Yeah, I've got to get more on there, but it's very watery. Yeah, I can see it's watery just by putting it on, but not to worry, it's still okay. I want lighter and darker values of this. Now this has just got that little bit of yellow oxide in there, or yellow ochre, whichever one you call it, whatever your shop calls it. And then we'll put our white clouds in there. Tinker that over to that polluted bit of over there a bit. Wipe that brush. Now I'm going to pick up my fan brush, the one I use to do clouds. And before I do that, I want to get some grey on the board as well, because some of these clouds are going to need not polluted. I call the grey weather within my clouds, so some of them are going to need some weather. So I'm picking up the white titanium off me palette, and I'll work from here and come up, because some of this is white. So we've got white scooting in here bits, just like this, just like that. So I'll start with that first. I'm going to put this brush full of paint, and I'm picking up a rag so I can blend some of that into that yellowy. I might have to put more of that yellow white coloured back later. We'll see how we go. But see how we've got that intensity of that white sitting over that yellow now? There we go. This will be a beautiful sky. Okay, pick up some more white and let's get going. We'll start putting some clouds all the way over here. Let's get something over here, coming over our heads there. Just something here, and maybe a blobby one there coming off the painting. I'll bring you over a bit so you can see that. And any of these clouds that are quite big, I might add some weather within them, which is, in my opinion, the grey. So that's like that. Boom. See how I left that hard edge there? It creates like a depth perspective within your cloud layout. Sometimes look for those things, and if they look good when you're putting them in there, leave them, because it's just an added value and it costs you nothing. There we go. Now I've got to wipe and wash that brush because it's got a lot of contaminated white on it. I just want pure white, so I'm just washing it and rinsing it, wiping it. I'll pick up some more clean titanium white. Now we've got to come over to this part of the sky. Now you can see what those colours have done. Okay, and now we're going to get white, lots of white up here. Got bits spooking up there. There we go. Let me get that all blended. I'll get these spooky bits done first. They're just those, you know, those lots of little scattery ones out there like that. If anything, I'm flicking these ones upwards just to give that over our head look feel. Now I'm going to come down here and start getting turmoil. I'll move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Look at that, I can get nice and close with this new camera caddy I've got. Well, I haven't got it, I made it. And we're just gonna turmoil this, get it up into the sky, make beautiful, lovely clouds. There we go. And with a bit of luck, this would look like they're in the distance and they're over our head. And I'm just washing that brush again because it's contaminated. All the paint's always got to be clean white. So we'll come over here. You can see what's happening, how the sky's developing. And we'll get some more now. Nice heavy bits coming out. I've got pockets of blue I'm deliberately leaving in there. Okay, I need them in there to create that look over our head, and obviously a bit of yumminess within here. Now I'm going to wipe that. Now this big pattern here, I want to put some, what do you call it? I'm going to put some weather in it, which is the grey, and then I'll quickly add some yumminess on top of that grey, and that'll add the three-dimensional look within our clouds. So at the moment, to me, I mean, these clouds are okay. You can just stop here if you're a beginner. Those clouds are okay, okay? See how they look? But to me, if you're an advanced beginner, you can take this next step I'm doing now. To me, they look flat. We're going to bring them over our head. So quickly, I'll leave that in there. I'll pick up another fan brush. Here we go. And some of that grey. Okay. Now I'm putting it on the fan brush so there's no surprises there. Whatever's on the tip of that fan brush, that's all that's there. There's nothing else. Okay. Okay, now here we go. You've come this far, you're a beginner, you saw what I've done. It's so easy to do, even if you've got to practice it a bit more. Now we're going to put some grey within this, just around this area here. Ooby up there, bits of fun all the way over here, and maybe just bits up there like that. That'll do. Put that down. Now this grey, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up very well, but it will dry and it'll be noticeable there. So I'm sitting that down, leaving the vibrancy of my white that's already up there, but if I lose a lot of that white, the yumminess is going to put it back, okay? So there we go. There we go. See, we've got that grey there. I want to put, probably just to make it more arty, I want to get some of it down here a little bit more, just into that yellow a little bit. Let's see what that does. And then we can add some more yumminess. And I'm sort of blending on an upwards motion. I'm disturbing the bottom line, but if anything, leaving the bottom line, but blending it upwards, okay? And it's a great way to do clouds with acrylic paint. Now, a lot of people look at paintings like this and think, I can't do that. You bloody can. You just learn how to just blend what I'm blending with. You learn how to use the brushes you use, and then you put it into a painting. People that get into a painting straight away, that's when it's hard, because you haven't practiced. Well, every time you do a, what do you call it? Every time you do a, I'm just grabbing some more white. Every time you do a test at university, you got to practice for it. You can't just go into it, do it and expect to pass. It's the same principle with painting. You need to practice a lot of procedures, and you'll make it look easy when everyone else is watching you as well. So I'm trying to get some more of this yellow now. I've just mixed up a bit more, because that first bit in the beginning of the painting, I put too much water with it. There we go, and I'll, there we go. How's that looking? All right. That's it. Now, if I zoom back, yeah, practice their serendipity. There we go. I could probably just put, I'll use my finger because I don't have a bloody another brush there. I'm just going to see here we've got such a transition there. I want to kind of just get some white if I can, and probably, come on you dad, get in there and just put some white there just to make this transition a bit different, just something like that. And then I'll blend it down. Mary Lou, I've just got to let the cat, here you go. Come on out, you get, there you go, come on. The cat was inside. She sleeps under Reese's bed and sometimes we don't even know she's in here. So I want to just push this in between that yellowy colour and that grey colour. Just like that. So see how it's broken up the two different colours now? That's good. Done. Sky is done. Me feet are knotting up me cables there. That's the sky. I do need the yumminess. We almost forgot the yumminess. Watch what the yumminess does. Those people have never seen my yumminess before. You just pick up the pure white. 20 minutes. And we crack in some pure white over all this stuff. Maybe a bit right in here as well. Some pure white. And this just adds that 3D effect to your clouds. And maybe a little bit up there. And see how I've left the blue in between all here. It doesn't look like one big white cloud smother in the sky. Now that yumminess, you just touch it and sit it down, leaving the vibrancy there, but you're just slightly blending it into your clouds there. This is just another procedure you can practice. Everything I'm doing in one of my paintings are procedures, every different aspect, like the sky, the clouds, the blending. And if you need any procedure you need to practice, that's where you master your arts, is giving yourself time to practice all that. There we go. And that's fine, that's it. I'm not going to muck with that sky anymore. You can keep going with that till the cows come home, but that's a reasonably good tropical sky there. I just don't like that. All right. Now I'm going to take this tape off. We'll take this off here. Alrighty. And then I just want to get my finger and push that ridge, because that paint's still all wet. There we go. Push that away like that. And now I've got to dry the bottom half of there. So hopefully this I need that dry because I am going to put something above it. Alright, the sky can dry on its own. I will be putting a palm tree there, so I'll give that some dryness there as well. Thank you very much to Les Watson. There we go, that'll do for now. It's not 100% dry, but it'll do for what I want. Now I've got that dry, ready for the water. Now I want, say here, can you see that? Yes, you can. I want here, I want the bank coming like about here, around here, and around that way like that, and that's all the ocean there, because it's the way the person's standing, whoever took this photo, okay? I got this idea from Unsplash. It's a free website with pictures and paintings there. So we're going to grab some turquoise, which is here. I will put the list of paints in the description below once I've had time to watch the replay, and I can edit them in there, okay? So I'm just going to grab some turquoise, just a simple beach colour water. That's all I want for there. We've still got some of that we can add into it for some light. And a bit of blue, and yeah, I might add a little bit of that grey blue. So we've got some grey there as well, just for some darker values. And now I want the sand colour. So my sand, I'm just going to use good old yellow. Well, there it is there actually. This one, actually I'll put that there with white, yellow ochre with white. Okay, so first I'll put the blue on there, the turquoise. Oh no, sorry, what am I doing? I'll put that up there so I can grab me paint, because I want the craft paint with a bit of retarder there, just so as I can map in the bottom area and get some nice blending there, but a little bit less than what I had on for the sky, okay? So make that up. And this is going to primer the bottom area, just so my colours aren't raw on the canvas and real loud and heavy. Now we'll get all this, and then I don't have to rush about trying to get it done before it dries on me, because that retarder will help it stay wet a bit. Get up there, all the way along there, that's it. I'm going to have the water pretty much all the way out there along the horizon line. Get it nice and straight if you can. There we go. Boom. Now we're going to grab the turquoise, and I want to just turquoise in the water where I want it. Then I'll add the lighter and darker values within the turquoise, okay? So I'll get all this on my brush, pull it through into its pile that I'm mixing. And like I said, I want the water to come from about here and about there, like that, okay? So we'll get this, we'll just get this turquoised up. All the way out there, like that. There we go, a bit more. And the good thing about doing easy water like this, you just put it on and pull it left and right, and you get your values there. Okay, bit more there. That's it. Now I want to get some of that grey value that I was talking about in there, and that's going to go, where did the grey go? A bit of that into there, a bit of blue into there, a bit of that grey left, a bit of that grey left, there we go. Just pulling that in, a bit more of that grey. Come on. I need more. Just enough to give it that look. There we go. Oh, you couldn't even see what I'm doing there. I'm mixing the grey there, sorry about that. So we want this about here, all in this corner now. Just some of this flavour pulling through here, just so it's not one boring colour. Look at all the colours we got in the sky. And we want to have stuff like that going on in the water as well. So when someone's looking at the painting, they can see a lot of beautiful layers and a lot of effort went into making the painting. There we go. I'll get that horizon line a bit better. I will darken that up. So I'm just picking up some blue. That's going to mix with the turquoise there anyway. And I'll get my bullshit stick so I can get this on nice and straight, hopefully. You can see that white line at the top. I don't want that there, so I'll get this just so as I can get our top there nice and straight. Come on, there we go. Get it in, I can just go for it like that. There we go. Out there's going to be some trees. There we go. See, A little dark band there's done, and we can put some there and then get the brush on its edge and then pull them in to make it that watery look. Boom. Done. Now that yellowy colour, I'm just going to wipe the brush. I want some of that yellowy colour from the sky and a bit more white. So we'll use some of that. See this colour here we had? A bit more white. There we go. And we want some of that just in this corner here. Just getting the reflection of all this, because that's where our glare is, okay? So we're pretty much going to be all the way. Get it on there. You can see why I've done the water first. I'll do the sand later. I'll get a bit more there. If you don't have these colours, use something similar, okay? Some people, not everyone has all the colours, but you can use something similar, and if you like the results it gets, you can make sure next time you go down there you can buy these colours. Okay, there we go, that'll do. I might put some glare in there as well, just to tantalise it a bit. Now I'm going to make the water, not the water, the get that across there so it's not so straight. I want to get the sand done. So my sand is pretty much the yellow oxide and a heap of white. There we go. That's it. I'll mix all that up into an even consistency. And then I want to get this where it's got to go. I'll put it there. Okay, now we've got to make sure some of it looks like it's going underwater. Not so much here, but mainly here. So this can go feathered together like that, just so it'll look like some of the water's over it, and this is dipping underneath the water, okay? There we go. And we could probably put a few little darker values in there, a bit more. Just get them on there and pull them through, that'll do. That'll do it. Okay, what do we do next? Oh, yes, I want to make the glare on the water now. So simple. I'll get this, and I just need to dry this top half on the side. To me, this glare that I'm going to put on now really makes a difference. So I'm going to just sit this tape there, just on the edges really. I'm not going to touch it in there. I want me white. So I'm just getting a bit of white on the board, a bit of white and a bit of water. Let's show you what I'm doing here. This makes good shimmer on top of your water. So you've got a nice flat brush, toothbrush. Get it wet and then start incorporating the paint into it like that. Okay. And work out where you want your shimmer on your water. I'm going to have the water lace in here, so I'd like it probably somewhere here. Let's see how we're going to go. Yeah, got to pull this finger up. This puts shimmer out in the ocean. Look over all that white, it'll stand out as well. There, look at that. It just makes the water more wet. Get a bit more in there. Oh yeah. Now I want to intensify a lot of it right here, right down here. Who knows? You can even probably put a subtle moon up in the sky if you wanted. There we go. Look at that. Nice simple shimmer on top of your beach. Beautiful calm day. And I'll just, bear with me a minute, I'm just getting the I want it really intensified here. There we go. There we go. That'll do it. Okay, you can see the shimmer on top of the water. Now this tape should come off. There we go. Hardly touched the paint, which was great. Where are we? Little small. I'm just grabbing some white paint. There's just an element I want there in the sky. I'm just grabbing it on the pouncer there, and hopefully we can put the subtlest daytime moon in the sky. Okay, that's it. Looks great. All right, water. We're going to do the water lacing over the, what do you call it? The shore there. So what I want is a little scrumbling brush like this. It was a flat, but it's like a little blending brush now. So I want that. I'll give this water a slight dry so it's not going to be too wet, just so as I can scrumble the waves back in there, okay? So just let me do this a minute. There we go, that'll do there. I'm sorry I can't read questions here while I'm painting, it's a bit difficult. I can if I get the opportunity. Ian's painting a brilliant, have been watching him for a few months now. Thank you very much. Now I want I've got where I've got to find it first and then I'll tell you what it is. It's a bit of a fat script liner, one about that fat. I don't know what number it is because it's all got paint all over the handle. And I want normal titanium white out of the tube. Okay, normal titanium white out of the tube. So we'll get some of that there. I'll get my finger with the glove on it and I'll glovulate that paint nice and flat on there like so. There we go, like that. Wipe that down there like a gentleman. And now I'm going to just wet the brush and then I want to get this and lay it in that paint. See, it's a nice flat sheet of paint now. It's not a big blob. I'm not trying to get into a blob of paint. All right. And then we're just going to do a bit at a time. We'll just lace the water sitting on top of the sand here. So we could probably, let's go from about here. Now get it nice and thick. Come down a bit. Come down. Keep it level. I'll show you what I'm going to do. There we go. That'll do for now. And I want to grab the just the top half of that line and then lightly but levelly doing it as well, start disturbing it back into the water there, breaking it up with gaps in between, pulling it, pulling it, pulling it, pulling it. Try and leave the bottom side nice and sharp. That's what creates the look. There we go. It's going to look like water's just billowing, falling on top of the sand here. Now we're going to come around here. So make some big thick bits there. I'll grab a bit more. Do the same again. The paint's very wet, so I've got to go softer. I've just lost a bit there. You want that bottom edge nice and hard. The paint's still very wet, so I've got to do it softer. I was getting a bit too aggressive there. And do a bit of a double. Like maybe something here. There. Watch what this one does. Leave the bottom tight, and it just looks like a second roll of water trying to flow into the shore as well. Okay, this is something fun to do, and if you find it difficult to do, you can just practice it. It's fantastic. How's that? It's looking, that's it, it's looking like water. And it's going to slowly come around now. Hopefully we get this bend looking good enough. It's not going to, I'll get this, I need that a bit wetter, so it's going to work. Brush on there. We're going to, this way like that. Don't come around here, otherwise you'll stuff it. And the same again, we're going to pull the top side of that water back into the ocean, because you want motion in the ocean. There we go. And we'll put another band there as well, just to make it look great. Just practice. You can get paint onto a surface and practice 2 different colours, and then get water like what I'm doing here, and then practice scrubbing it back just to see how you can get this working. So when you're going to do a painting like this, you know you're going to achieve it. You're not sort of on that borderline of thinking, oh, am I going to do it, or am I going to stuff my whole painting up? That's why it's important, I tell people, to practice. There we go. And see, I've got a little bit there. I just want to hurry up here, get something, maybe another one here, make it quite, doesn't matter. Bit more, that doesn't, it can be thick. It's the bottom line you're keeping. The bottom line you're keeping. There we go. And watch. The top half we're destroying, and we're scalloping it back into the ocean, putting the motion in the ocean. Yeah, motion in the ocean. Yeah, love it, love it, love it. And by rights, you should have a cracking bit of, it's simple water, but effective. Look at that. It's effective, it's tropical, it's achievable. Barry Radburn, you made it, eh? Now what you can do, that same brush, see this colour here we used? If anything, I like to darken that up and use that as the shadow under that water. So what I'm doing, I'm grabbing the same brush, I've got that paint darkened up. Let's see if that's going to be the right. Yeah, that'll do it. So where it's hitting the sand, just act real nervous like you stole something from the deli, a candy, and you're getting caught, and then just very thinly twist it like you're nervous. Jingle your brush around. Doesn't have to be one full solid line. Bang. Break it up and stop. And then we'll come along here. Don't do this all in the water side of it, just where it's sitting on the sand, I feel. Nice and thin. I'm twisting this little brush as I go. It's thick and thin in places. When I'm finished, I'll look at this, and if this isn't dark enough, I can always go back and darken it a bit more darker, okay? But I'm just showing you this now. This sits that water on top of the sand, and it makes people go, wow. I have seen some people do this, bless them, but they've done it real thick and cartoony. But if they look at those paintings, they'll learn from their mistakes. I've done it plenty of times. And see how that's just sat it down nice and subtly but effectively. Now we'll quickly get on with the rest of the painting before my hour's up. Bullshit, love the technology. Yes, Jennifer. Where are we? I'll just show there. Hello everybody. Sorry I can't talk to yous. I'm just busy here getting a bit of painting done. Now, like I said before, those little aspects. So what I want to do is put some huts to the side here and a little bit of land just out there coming off the land there. So I'm just going to use good old simple forest green and a flat brush down here. I've got some forest green and a flat brush. I've got paint everywhere. Oh, crunchy, hear that? And now I've got to wet just a bit of it because I want the bottom line where it's hitting the water nice, sharp and straight. So once again, I'll grab my bullshit stick and we'll get a bullshittingly straight line without any masking tape. Watch what it does. make yourself one of these. My other live I did the other day, I showed people about this stick. So we get it to there. You can rest this on it and go any height you want, okay? And I want to come probably about out here. Look at that line, straight as buggery. I'll go about there. Now I'll thicken it up so I can take the stick away, because we don't want to spoil that straight line. There we go. Reasonably good, that's it. Take it away, because I'm going to build on top of that. Okay, so we're just making a nice little bit of land out there. I'll use my other stick now. And we're going to come reasonably pointy there, like that. And then get all this just looking like, I don't know, any kind of distant trees. It's just silhouetted, but I'm just using dark forest green. We could probably put trees up there like this. Sometimes down by the coast in Australia, we get a lot of needle pine trees there. So I'm going to put some air in between them and probably get a bank of these out there, just like that. There we go. Moving right along to probably here. Nice and hairy and airy in between them. And I'll come down to here just so I can finish it off. So it looks like it's slowly going away. And now the bottom bit, make it solid. Just solid all that up. This is just a little effective add-on to the painting I want to put in here. Well, the actual reference picture has something like this. This is different to the reference picture, but I'm using it to get ideas. And the reference picture I got from Upsplash. It's a free website. So I can detail that with depth later, but that's it. That's all I want there. And I want to use this same dark brush to create those little huts that I'm talking about. So I'm just going to use good old burnt umber and black. Okay, so I'll get some of that onto the palette down here. Some burnt umber and some black. And if time permits, 46 minutes, I've got to get a, I want to get a palm tree bent from the side way out there. So I'm going to use that same brush because that was a nice sharp little flat, and it'll act like a little chisel. I'll get the burnt umber and black. I want it, this just so it's not just straight black. I don't like straight black sometimes. It's good to mix your mediums with different colours there. Okay, I've got that done. Now I need to dry that so as it's not going to mud up on me. So bear me a minute. Just about here somewhere. That'll do it. I'll get some water on there. So it's going to move off nicely. And we just want to construct some simple silhouetted huts out there just off the horizon there in the distance, okay? So we'll come here and you'll see what flavour these do to the painting. Okay, so where are we? Let's go about here. And we want to go probably there. So we'll come off the water here. Like that. Pick up with the paint. Wrong pile of paint. Oh dear, I might have to make it a bit bigger. I'll make it about there. Get that on the brush. I want a gap between that and the edge of the paint, and if I can get it. Right, now we'll get another bit, this out a bit further. See, I can use these little flats. I like using them. They're good for like little knife work and stuff, you know. These don't have to be perfect. Now we can get a roof out here like that, and maybe a veranda pole. You might not make sense of this yet, but when it's finished you will. Try and get that nice and straight. And nice roof up here. If you're watching the replay here, check out the links in the description below and become a member of my art group if you wish. There's a link for my art group, there's a link for my Facebook page, there's links for everything. We'll come out here. Don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just making this up as I go. It looks nothing like the reference picture. I've just been using the reference picture to get ideas. I'll work something out there, I'll work it out. Oh, you know what I was going to do? I wanted to put some little sticks out. Some little, what do you call it? Poles with lights on them. I'll get some poles here. And we'll get some in the water. There, get some of these in the water there, just like that. That's just busy nonsense. I'm going to just get some white into that to grey it up a bit, just so as I can put some shadow on the water there. Because there's going to be a palm tree coming out here. Get another roof coming up there off the picture, bugger it. Okay, how's that looking? Yeah, see what it's done? We've just added little bits of nonsense out there. I've got to get this a bit scrumble. Bit of a shadow under there. Now find yourself a flat that you love to use. Where's my favourite one? Have I got one there? It doesn't have to be a massive fat trunk, Ian, so this one will do. I'm going to pick up that same colour paint, the burnt umber, mixed with some of the black, all right? And we are going to bring, I want it about, well, where's that moon? I might do it about here, so let's say there, and come down to about there and about there and bring it all the way along to there, coming off. So this is quite close to the person, whoever took the photo. Now, where are we? I want that a lot wetter. Where's my stick? Here it is. I'll just start from here and I'll come a little bit fatter as I come, and then all the way across there, that can come fatter. Okay, now you can see how that broke up. It means I need more water with that paint to make it transfer. Not too much water, but just enough to give it that consistency. Now that sand, if that sand is still too wet, it might hinder it as well, and I've got to wait for it to dry as well. But about there. And about there. I'll get this on there, but I'll detail the trunk off camera. You'll get the gist of it, otherwise we'll be here for a month of Sundays. We'll get a bit of fatness coming down the trunk here. And we'll sharpen this side here up like that. There we go. I'll get this a bit wider down here. There we go. Now, like I said, I will detail this trunk off camera Because see what I'm doing now, I can be playing with it like this forever. And I don't want to put you through that. Now, silhouette, a little bit of, and we're going to put a little bit of green on this, okay? So everyone knows how I do my palms. You just start from the middle, bring it down and let it scratch, let it scratch, let it scratch. See that? It was too easy. We'll do another one about here. From the top, let it scratch, let it scratch, let it scratch. Another one here, let it scratch. This one here can go all the way up. Boom. Another one here. Oh. Make sure that brush is nice and sharp, chiseled edge. Otherwise, I'll give you grief. I'll look in the monitor. That's not too bad. It's all right. We'll get one up here, sort of flick him back that way, and a bit of nonsense on him up there. And we'll get something over here. See how I had to, see if you do this painting, you can work out whether you have that moon or you don't have that moon. I forgot about the actual tree here. When I'd put the moon in, I just stuck it in there. Now, that's the average palm. You need to, in my opinion, see the middle there? Balls it up a bit, give it some grunt. Stab it around just like this, and then grab your paintbrush and put little points on some of them, just like that. Okay? Just like that. And we got a palm there. I do want to get this a bit better here. There we go. Like I said, I'll do that when I get off camera. So beautiful. Thank you very much. I'm going to wipe that brush, wash it. I'll give that palm a little bit of a dry there, just so as I can put some highlight over it. And just remember, anyone that's new to my channel watching today, all my art tutorials are available to buy. There's a link in the description below. It shows you what's available. There's a PayPal donate link, and that PayPal link is also what you use to purchase, oh sorry about that, purchase any paintings that I sell. And everyone that's been buying my paintings have been very happy with them. If you join my group, you can see a lot of people in there and ask them questions. It's a great community, and you can join that community and create your own community within that community. Now I want to get some green in here. I'll keep most of the dark, but I want to get some greens just here and there. Not too much, just, this is another thing you can practice what I'm doing here now. This is just something I made up, doing palms like that. I don't know if anyone else ever does them like this, but this is just the way I do them. It's easy to show a beginner. And of course, all beginners transform and evolve into a more greater artist. And then it's up to them to adopt their own finer ways of doing, whether it's clouds or trees or a palm or whatever. I do have the odd person that loves to get on me back and say that's not how you do a palm, but it's a great way to show a beginner how to do a palm, far as I'm concerned. All right, and we'll put a little, I'm just trying to grab a little bit of yellow, just so as we can, there we go, just to break it up like that, you know. Very easy. I mean, I'm under the pump every time I film because it's just the way things are. There we go, can you see that? All right, I'll just wipe that brush, wash it and wipe it, because I want to get some of just the plain black, if I can find some, which is right there, and just in between there, probably put some real darker. There we go. Yeah, that made it look all right. How we going there? There's so much more I can do to this, but I'm going to sign it now. So I'll grab my paint brush for signing. I'll wet it down and I'll grab some of the cerulean blue. I'll just autograph it with cerulean blue. So, and yeah, like I said, check out the links in the description below. Okay, you can see over there, that's the actual picture I found on Pixabay that gave me the idea for it. Okay, so yeah, and you can see the difference I've done to mine. You make things your own. You don't have to do them exact. Okay, we'll put an autograph about here. Nice, if I can get a nice sharp autograph. Here we go, a little bit of cerulean blue here. And of course I'll whack a frame on it just to see how pretty a frame makes a painting look. And we'll put Steve's little footprint there as well. Alright, let's whack a frame on this. I'll get that other screen out the way so it doesn't balk the framing. There we go. Yeah, I can play around with that a bit more. But I think that's not too shabby, hey? We've got a beautiful tropical beach or a beach scene. We've got some glimmer, shimmer on top of the water there. And we've just got a big palm in the front there. We've got a moon high up in the sky, daytime moon, okay? And just remember, you can do that, okay? So I'll bring you back over here. And who was in the room there? Thank you everybody for coming along and watching this tutorial. We've got Margaret, Kevin, Poser, Joswina, hello Joswina, Jennifer. Leave a comment below if you wanted to ask anything about this painting, that way I can respond to that. And make sure you tell your friends if you like what I'm doing, but if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody, all right? All the best, goodbye, good luck, and good on you. All right. Was there any, well, I really enjoyed watching him paint. Okay, I'll go through that and watch the replay anyway. Okay, well, I'm going to turn the camera off and I'll say it's Uru